Welcome. This is a narrated experience report source from road.org, generated using the Lysergic Dream Engine. Listener discretion is advised. Bad trip. Myth or legend? A LSD trip report. This experience was submitted under the username Vincent. Reported age, not given. Reported gender, male. I had always been warned of the dangerous bad trip. Any emotional or personal upsets that may be happening in your life can strongly influence your trip. I had the house to myself, 2 blotter tabs and a dime bag. I took both tabs and waited 45 minutes. Anxiety and expectation crept into my head as I watched the news. I figured it was time to smoke a bowl, so I packed one up and stepped out to my garage. I topped it off with a cigarette and looked out into the valley. My vision appeared to shimmer and glow slightly, although not in a brightness sense. I felt fine. Late, but fine. I thought a movie would be a good idea, and what better to watch than Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. I watched it on my computer with the news on mute. I took random breaks from it, as my mind couldn't focus on one thing for too long. Then I noticed the story that was on TV. State police at an accident scene in my town. My friend's brother had been killed. I remember thinking how terrible, but it didn't feel terrible. I was sorry for the family, but I felt no negative emotion for the duration of the trip. It had happened on a previous trip, where I felt a total disconnection from my emotions, but this was more of an objective view on them. It was like sadness with no pain, anger with no rage. I packed another bowl. Throughout the trip, I sometimes thought about the accident, but it didn't really bother me. I smoked bowls and cigarettes as needed. I was worried that I would suddenly fall into a pit of emotion, but I never did. The total trip lasted about 14 hours, with peak effects lasting about 8. Waking up after 10 hours of sleep, I felt spaced out, but fine. In my experience, bad trips come from feeling you're not in control. Every trip is different, and the smallest thing can cause fear in the midst of an acid frenzy. I was faced with terrible news as the peak began, yet the experience was lovely. Life is not without a sense of irony. Thank you for listening.